Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moments. Have you ever felt a moment so quiet, yet somehow the loudest in your heart? Today, we arrive at exactly that point, the final 2 episodes of Are You Sure? A place where every second feels slowed down, as if time itself is waiting for us to truly see and feel. No big explosions, no excessive drama, just small fragments of togetherness that somehow manage to say everything. Almost at the same time, an Instagram post from Jimin appears, simple yet impossible to ignore. 1 photo, 2 people, almost no distance between them. And from there, all the questions and emotions that had been quietly resting come alive again. Is this just a coincidence? Or is it the most honest fragment of a story they've been telling all along, without words? Let's step into these final 2 chapters and see why, once again, Jikook makes the simplest things feel so deeply profound. We finally arrive at the last 2 chapters of Are You Sure? A quiet point where every scene feels slower, more meaningful. The closing of Season 2 doesn't come with a grand climax, but with a series of small moments that somehow touch even deeper. Around the same time, Jimin shared an Instagram update. A simple detail, yet meaningful when we remember his confession during a live broadcast. He had forgotten his Instagram password and only managed to remember it after quite some time. This upload doesn't feel like a routine post, but something he genuinely wanted to share. Among the series of photos, one image instantly took many people's breath away. Jimin is not alone. He is with Jungkook. Jimin's blonde hair blends with Jungkook's dark hair, contrasting yet perfectly harmonious. The distance between them is incredibly close. No exaggerated poses, no dramatic gestures. Just quiet togetherness. And precisely because of its simplicity, it feels deeply honest. The photo speaks without a sound. Another small detail was noticed. The photo was taken using an iPhone. Jimin had previously mentioned that he had changed his phone, and the model and color of the iPhone matched Jungkook's exactly. 2 possibilities emerge, either Jimin used Jungkook's phone, or he bought the exact same one. Whatever the answer, both point to the same thing. Constant closeness, sharing space, time, and small things without the need for explanation. The affection implied, the unforced chemistry, everything feels strong, even from a single simple photo. Episodes 7 and 8, the final chapters of Season 2, make every moment feel more fragile, more precious. And as always, Jikook turns the simplest things into something that stays in the heart. It all begins with gentleness. Jimin tells Jungkook that he can recline his seat all the way back. Jungkook, as always, thinks first about Jimin's comfort. But Jimin calmly reassures him that he's fine. A small gesture, yet it feels big. Not long after, that care turns into sweet teasing when Jimin records Jungkook sleeping. Between them, affection always comes hand in hand with playful mischief that makes everything feel alive. Then it's Jimin's turn to fall asleep. The beanie on his head slips down, revealing the most unguarded side of him. Quiet, so almost unreal. And even though Jungkook has been caught countless times gazing at him, leaning closer, watching over him, it still feels special, each time as if Jungkook is choosing Jimin all over again from the beginning. Humor returns when Jimin realizes that Jungkook has fallen asleep yet again. His gaze is full of affection before he turns to the camera with perfect timing, like a sitcom character who knows exactly what he's about to do. One of the most intimate moments arrives in silence. Jimin becomes Jungkook's telescope, helping him see far away through his own eyes. No jokes, no exaggerated focus, just trust, so natural it barely needs to be spoken. And when Jimin says, "I did everything I could to get beer for Jungkook," that simple sentence feels like the most honest summary of them, effort, care, and love living in the smallest things. The sweet chaos continues. A unicorn float, Jungkook naturally taking on the role of Jimin's swimming coach, calm, focused, fully present. Until that tenderness turns into laughter, when Jungkook pushes Jimin into the water and chooses to splash him instead. But Jimin is still Jimin. Mischievous, playful, full of surprises. He runs off, locks the staff outside, wanting privacy. A small space without interruptions. Just him and Jungkook. A safe bubble. Even in his sleep, Jungkook moves closer toward Jimin. Unconsciously. Without planning. His body seems to know exactly where it needs to return. That's where the romance lives. In instinct, in safety, in the subconscious choice to always move toward Jimin. Jungkook always chooses closeness. Again and again. Not by chance. When they talk about Jin's concert, the initial plans sound separate. But in the end, they go together, stay together, return together. Choosing the same day. The same path. Jimin's call to his father brings one of the warmest moments. Casually, Jimin says that he's hanging out and filming with Jungkook. His father responds with care, and Jungkook immediately joins the conversation, without hesitation, without distance. When Jimin's father reminds them to get home safely and expresses his love, Jungkook responds spontaneously as well. Nothing feels awkward, just the natural ease of someone who feels like he truly belongs. This moment echoes another time when Jungkook called his own mother, and she warmly expressed her love for Jimin. This pattern isn't a coincidence. Their relationship naturally extends to family, two worlds meeting in the same trust. As the journey continues, that intimate dynamic remains. Small conversations, jokes about sleeping, about the nights they spent together. Simple details that reveal shared spaces without barriers. They know the camera doesn't capture everything. And that's exactly where the honesty lies. Some moments are intentionally left to remain theirs alone. Stories about their time at SM flow in the same way. Natural, domestic, full of trust. They've seen each other at their most human, without masks. And even knowing that distance and change lie ahead, they still choose to walk together. As the final words are spoken at the end of the show, it's clear that part of them isn't ready to leave yet. Jungkook feels it most. Jimin tries to soften it with laughter. But they remain close, fingers brushing, hands searching for each other. And we end with one last image so tender, Jungkook holding Jimin as he sleeps. Quiet. The final 2 episodes of Are You Sure? Are not just a season finale. They affirm one thing. This closeness is not a coincidence, not something created for the camera. It is the result of trust built day by day. Of small acts of care repeated without exhaustion. Of conscious and subconscious choices to always return to one another. And that's where we finally stop. Not with loud answers, but with feelings that linger. An embrace in sleep. Fingers searching for each other. Small choices that always lead to the same person. Because true closeness doesn't need to be announced. It lives in habit, in comfort, in a sense of safety. Thank you for staying with us until the end. If you felt the same way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Jikook Moments. Because as long as they choose each other, we will always have a story to tell.